The lecture has been divided into two parts. The first part gives us an account of the influences operating upon the American scholar in order to educate him. This is further divided into three parts. The first part deals with the influence of nature, the second deals with the influence of books, and the third deals with action and its relation to experience. Emerson devotes the second unnumbered part to his views on the duties of the American scholar who has become the man thinking. According to Emerson, nature, books, and action are the best sources of education. The most important influence on the mind of a person is that of nature. The scenes of nature like sunset, nightfall, the shining stars, the blowing winds, and the growing grass, all these scenes influence the scholar the most. Emerson views nature as a teacher who instructs a scholar who observes the natural world and makes him see how similar his mind and nature is. He says that nature is a circular power and has no beginning and end. Similarly, the spirit of a man or a scholar is similar, entire, and boundless. Nature has no beginning and no end. Similarly, the spirit of a man has no beginning and no end. Nature has a unifying instinct, and so has the soul. A young mind sees everything distinct and everything as a separate individual, but slowly the young mind finds how to join two things and even more things and to view in them one nature. The mind goes on unifying things together and also discovering that different and remote things cohere and also issue from one common stem. A lot of accumulation and classification of facts is going on since the beginning of history. But this classification does not mean that the objects of nature are chaotic. In fact, it means that the objects of nature have a law which binds them together, and this law is also the law of the human mind. Thus, a scholar becomes conscious of the unity in diversity, which is also the law of nature. He realizes that nature and his soul are like seal and print. The beauty of nature is the beauty of his own mind. After this realization, nature becomes a measure of his attainments. So much of nature that he does not know, that much he does not know about his mind too. Therefore, the ancient precept, know thyself, becomes at last one maxim with the modern precept, study nature. Thus, we note that the first similarity which Emerson discusses between nature and a scholar's spirit is that of his idea of circular power, a theme which is familiar to the readers of his essay Nature. So, nature and scholar's spirit do not have a beginning and an end, and are complete and do not have any boundary. Another similarity is order, which is present in nature and also between the scholar and nature. In the beginning, a person views chaotic and infinite reality of individual facts, but later on, after observing nature, he begins to classify these facts into categories. Nature's laws teach him to see a similarity between different things. Nature also teaches him to unify these different things. He realizes that nature and his soul both come from one root and are parallel structures. Therefore, the more he learns about nature, the more he learns about his own self and his mind. So, the two maxims, know thyself and study nature, are one and the same thing.